Welcome to the Rob and Kale Show. Rob Sanders is on
Willie, stop.
Delivery and Kale Hall.
He doesn't deserve to be in this business. He deserves to have been blackballed.
Rob and Kale podcast.
And welcome into the Rob and Kale podcast. I'm Rob Sanders. Thanks for joining us.
I'm not ashamed.
Week 2 of the Calloway's Pick'em Challenge. We got 11 full games to pick tonight, including the game named after my podcast partner, the Kale Hall Shitter. He's in the upstate East Carolina jackpot. What's up, buddy?
How are you doing? On the form, I noticed that it was called the Kale Hall Special, but here we're calling it the Kale Hall Shitter. Which is correct? Which one should I be referring to it as?
Well, you can. We're gonna call it the Shitter because it's generally a shit game.
Okay, that sounds good.
Is that fair?
I just wanted to know for clarification purposes.
Okay. By the way, we're going to bring back the Waffle Stomp Award. Remember that?
The Shane Beamer Waffle Stomp Award of the Week.
Yeah, we're going to bring that back. That's going to every Sunday night we're going to have that too. Yeah. Brock wants to know how I get away with using candy liquor without a copyright strike. Well, first of all, I only play enough where it doesn't get caught in the algorithm. Second of all, if you listen closely,
it doesn't show up on the YouTube.
It doesn't, because I've split up that little piece in the opener where
you can't hear it on there, rather.
Yeah, you can't. So I mean, it's there's something that I use that makes it hard to pick up. So there's that. But anyway, there you go with all that. But yeah, the Shane Beamer Waffle Stomp. Is it a person or an action? Which one is it, Jackpot?
Well, it can be either one. It's just usually the most jacked up thing that happened the previous week. I would say last week's Waffle Stomp Award of the week would probably have to go either to the Navy offense or just the Vanderbilt team in general, almost losing to Hawaii.
Or it could go to those jackoffs that ran onto the field and tried to jump Ronald Acuna Jr. Could go to them too.
I saw that. Oh, we got to talk about. Nobody's talking about it on YouTube. I even said something about it on the old Uncle Lou live stream last night, and didn't even get a response in the comment section. Did you see what that idiot Eric Gilbert busting into the damn vape shop, vape/liquor shop out in Nebraska?
Well, our field reporter, Big Barney Ross, sent me that last night late. Yeah, I mean, that guy's been a problem. He barely saw the field at LSU. Didn't play. He played there some as a freshman in 2021. Last year, I don't think he even suited up for Georgia. Did he even play in a game? I don't know. We have to ask one of our Georgia apologists in here. They'll know if he actually.
I don't think he even played at all. Then he goes out to Nebraska, and a lot of people were saying in the comment section, "Well, he's got a lot of problems. He's got problems." Yeah, well, he's got a whole snoot full of them now. What an idiot, man! God.
Yeah, he would be up for the.
Poor Marcus Satterfield. I hate that he has to deal with that.
Well, and hey, you know what? I'm in the camp of that would definitely be a Waffle Stomp, nominee. I was hoping with the thing with Ronald Acuna Jr. The way that they ran at him, if he would have decked those guys, I mean, just knocked them into next month. I mean, that should have happened.
Well, I was reading the little news snippet about it, and that they said Acuna said through an interpreter that he got scared. He said, "I think the fans were there wanting to take a picture." Buddy, they wouldn't want to take a picture with you. I don't know what they were.
I don't know, but I mean, it's like if first of all, if they did that to somebody else. Like, can you imagine if they did that to, I don't know, Barry Bonds, or hell, if they did it to Chipper Jones, he might knock the shit out of him. Just saying. So. Probably so.
Definitely, yeah.
He had a short fuse too when it came to things. John Smoltz might have knocked him out too. John Smoltz definitely would have hit him right in the face.
That's about as crazy as the idiots who used to jump in the wrestling ring, and I'm gonna go attack Kevin Nash or something crazy. I'm gonna go like that, and they just get the hell knocked out of them one time, and
yeah,
then they just roll out.
So you think you're gonna just slap somebody that's a wrestler or whatever? What a mess. Anyway, all right. Well, we got to pick games jackpot. Here's the thing tonight. We want to thank Calloway's for sponsoring it. Calloway's Bar and Grill. We'll be doing our live show there. Benefit the Pace Academy, the only public dyslexic school in the state. Got some stuff. We're going to be ways for you to win things. Is basically how it works for this event that we're having. So it's going to be great. Big Barney Ross has already contributed with a batch of his special bourbon. I'm looking up at it now because I've got it on the top shelf. Because that's where it belongs, by God. It's got Blanton's, Eagle Rare, and Weller. So if you're into that kind of thing, also getting a ball signed by LaVon Kirkland. We'll find out if he makes the College Football Hall of Fame, which he probably will. So you can have a football signed by a legitimate Hall of Famer. That's going to be cool too. So all of that and lots more stuff that we're working on for our big benefit, which is on November the 24th, day after Thanksgiving. Anyway, thanks to Calloway's for sponsoring the challenge. Also, Fireside Chats with Uncle Jackpot from DNC Trucking and Transport. Jackpot, can you tell us a story, sir?
I can tell you some lies. The last one of the off season. Here we go.
Mm-hmm.
It sucks to be a Gamecock. If we lose to North Carolina, no one will care. That's what we're supposed to do. We're conditioned to be losers. It sucks to be a Gamecock. Go Tigers.
We also have the Basement Bookie, which, by the way, if you took the Basement Bookie's pick last week, you went 1-0. He goes for tonight. He says 5-3 last week, including 1-0 on the free pick of the week. Would have been 6-2, but we didn't realize UTEP has a moron for a coach. We've noted that for the rest of the season. He goes, this week, we love Western Kentucky. They're going to roll over South Florida by at least 3 touchdowns. Take Western Kentucky, 11.5 over South Florida. So there is your free pick of the week. We will have you can subscribe to the Basement Bookie. It's very, very easy. We'll have the link in the description for you there. You get 2 free weeks for being a listener of this show. So you're already benefiting here. Some of y'all, I've seen somebody got 0 picks correct last week. You need to sign up for the Basement Bookie. You'll definitely get at least 1 pick correct. We know that for fucking sure. Holy shit. So the Basement Bookie, thanks to them to
just study the fucking teams. I mean, you'll get something right.
Or just subscribe to the Basement Bookie. It's even better. Then you don't have to study.
Yeah, absolutely.
You
Subscribe. It's very inexpensive. I've read some of it, and it's great content. Yeah, inexpensive content. It's almost free.
It's $5 a month. I mean, come on. So there you go with that. Peg and Megan did not come back in this year. He is going to. I read something about he's looking to broaden his. I don't know, something about. I don't know. He's making shoe leather out of goat horns. I don't know what the hell he's doing. Peg and Megan's all
shoe leather out of goat horns.
Yeah,
sounds kind of difficult, and well,
yeah, that's why he can't. That's why he can't do anything with the show, because he's always goofing off somewhere. All right, Jackpot. Let's look at these games real quick. Let's see here.
Better tell the Basement Bookie you can't be cracking on South Florida too hard. They'll piss off the Tennessee fans. You know, they got Josh Heupel's great offensive coordinator over there running that team now, I do believe.
I don't think the Basement Bookie only cares about winning. He could give.
He doesn't care about feelings, does he?
Nope, it's about winning, sir. That's what it goes.
Or
with.
she. It could be she. I don't even know the Basement Bookie.
Well, and that's the thing. I don't know who the Basement Bookie is either. He got in contact with us. He or she got in contact with us. I have no clue.
I don't know the basement. I don't know the Basement Bookie from Bookman from Good Times. You know what I mean?
Good Times. Anyway, there's that. Tennessee at UVA. That's the first game we'll pick. Jackpot. The Vols are a 26.5-point favorite in our contest. The line's moved up to 28.
Yep.
Which way you rolling there?
Okay. Virginia. Last year, Virginia had, it kind of got overshadowed a little bit. They had a decent defense. Their pass defense was okay. I don't really know what to expect from this team. They've got a new quarterback. Of course, Brennan Armstrong transferred out. Their starting quarterback, I believe his name is Musket. Musket, and they're also one of the running backs in their rotation is former Clemson running back Kobe Pace. So good luck to him.
There you go.
Hope he does well. Love all former Clemson players. Shout out to Ches Malusi with Wisconsin also. This is just under like a key number of 28. I expect Tennessee to roll in this game. I don't know, what kind of motivation we're going to see out of Virginia. Are they going to be in like wounded animal mode? Are they going to come out swinging? Or, are they just going to try to just kind of figure some things out? I have no doubt that Joe Milton is an improved quarterback over what he was when he was starting before. He looked good in the bowl game against Clemson. He looked good against Vanderbilt. But like for the long haul, I don't know if he can be as clean of a quarterback as Hendon Hooker, if that makes any sense. As far as Hendon Hooker threw I don't have it in front of me. I think he threw like 3 or 4 interceptions over 2 years. Yeah. You don't see that ever. He was just really, really amazing with that. But I like the Vols to cover the 26.5. If the thing is 28 right now, I wouldn't bet it. I wouldn't mess with that. But at 26.5, I feel confident taking Tennessee. I think they're just going to wear Virginia out. There's just not enough depth there, not enough talent, and even if Virginia's defense comes to play and say they hold the Vols to 38 points. Their average is in high 40s. Say they hold them to 38 points. Do you trust Virginia's offense to even be able to score 10? I don't know that I do.
So when I was looking at this game, Virginia won 3 games last year. They beat the mighty Richmond Spiders, Old Dominion, and Georgia Tech. They won at Georgia Tech on the road. They lost to Miami in 4 overtimes, 14-12. And the folks they have coming back, I don't know if that's going to be able to remedy a lot of that with the offense. So I think that I don't think Tennessee's as good as everybody says they are. I know Tennessee fans are like, "Oh, Rob's just hating." I don't think they're going to be as good as they were last year. I don't think that Milton's going to put up the numbers that Hooker put up. So we'll see though. But I think Tennessee will cover the 26.5.
Honestly, I think Tennessee is live for a live dark horse for the SEC championship. I really do.
Well, you picked them to win the East in our pick'em, so our picks. So I wouldn't expect you to come off that and I love how they're like, we have a better team this year. How do you know you have a better team? So you're just going to piss in the face of Hendon Hooker?
The only place I could conceivably see them being better is maybe on the line of scrimmage or maybe in the defensive backfield, because those were the weak areas last year, right?
Yeah, their fan base is silly. You pick them to cover. Oh, Rob thinks we're sorry. I picked you to win by 4 touchdowns. Goofballs. All right, Ohio State and Indiana. Ohio State has won I think 27 in a row against Indiana. It's 28.5. That hook there, Jackpot. I'm going to take Indiana, and just because of the hook. I think Ohio State will win by 28. So give me Indiana because of the hook.
Look, Indiana has given up an average of 50 points per game to Ohio State the last 5 years. They returned 5 on offense and only 3 players on defense. They brought in 16 transfer players, 16, between both the offense and the defense to try to shore that up. Normally in a opening week game or second week game, you tend to see a lot of miscommunication issues with these new players. With even though you've been through practice with them, it's not the same as being a game situation. I've got a guy over here that's from James Madison. Well, this goofball over here is from Ohio University, and this one down here is from Florida State, and it just kind of might be a little bit of a mess. And that's not what you want when you're playing Ohio State. 3 players returning on defense. I'd hate to be going up against Marvin Harrison and all the Travion Henderson and all those guys. And the quarterback, it looks like they settled in on the quarterback now. Looks like it's going to be Kyle McCord. I'm sure he'll be in New York for the Heisman Trophy ceremony. I mean, just because he plays for Ohio State. I mean, I'm sure he'll be great. So go on ahead and give me the Buckeyes to cover that number there. I think Indiana is pretty much dead in the water.
Colorado at TCU. Colorado's getting 21.5. All right. Are you buying into the Deion Sanders stuff there, Jackpot?
I like the idea of what he's doing. Like you kind of said, the way he's gone about it is kind of, it's not something that, I mean, even if, I can say being brutally honest and letting everybody know what's going on is there's some value in that. I can appreciate that. I don't think it has to be broadcast for the world to see. I don't know. It's kind of like it's making these young men that don't make his cut a laughing stock. That's the kind of things to me that should be just kept within your program and just be done with it. With that being said, I mean, I think he'll do good things there. I think he's brought in a ton of players with a lot of speed. I don't think he has a lot of size. And everybody thinks TCU is going to take a big step back, but they were talking to Sonny Dykes the other day, and he says he thinks he's got just as good of, if not better, of a team than he had last year. Don't know about that, but I mean it's possible. They kind of had a horseshoe up their butt last year. Yeah, I would say TCU is the way to lean in this game. Colorado doesn't have any size. I think they're going to get brutalized.
So, they played last year. They beat Colorado 38-13. It's 21.5 points is a lot of points here at the start of the season. But I'm going to roll with TCU because I don't really trust Colorado, and I don't know if they're going to have any consistency as far as Colorado goes with all these other players coming in. I mean, they don't know each other yet. And to go on the road to, and play at TCU, I think it's going to be tough. I'll take the Horned Frogs. Next matchup's West Virginia at Penn State. I got Penn State, too much defense, and I think West Virginia won't get over the 6-point mark. So give me Penn State minus 16.5.
Jerry Wells over in the comment section says Jackpot judges Sonny Dykes based on his looks. I'm like, I had to think for a minute what he was talking about. I think I called him Deputy Dog or something in a live stream or something. I don't know. I say he looks like he's like 65 or 70 years old. He just does. But that's not judging him. That's just pointing something out. And you people have incredible memories. You really do.
They do.
Anyway, that line is 16.5.
Yep.
I'm gonna tell you. Oh, he said it was funny. Thank you. This one I'm gonna go with Penn State, just because I believe in the running game. New quarterback Drew Allar, he's going to be an upgrade over whatever his name is. It escapes me. I was there for a couple of years. But Nick Singleton, they're going to punish West Virginia. The line on that game is actually like 20.5 now. It's moved up to that. I would if I were messing with that, I might would mess around and take West Virginia, because they're not as bad as you think. They got a quarterback that can run around a little bit. They're not real effective throwing the ball, but you got a coach there that's coaching for his job. I mean, he's going to come out and throw the kitchen sink at this team, because he doesn't know he's going to get a chance to do it again next year. So I would take them, but at 16.5 points, I'm probably going ahead and roll with the Nittany Lions. Yeah, Sean Clifford, he was terrible.
Next game is Coastal Carolina at UCLA. UCLA is giving up 15 at home. Jackpot, you were talking about them in your Pac-12 picks that you kind of like them, right?
Yeah, but I'm going to tell you, in this one, I think that Coastal Carolina, I think Coastal's a live dog in this one. You know, they have 30 either seniors or super seniors on that team. Now, they have a new coach in Tim Beck. He was the OC at NC State for the past few years. So Jamie Chadwell has moved on to Liberty to take Preacher Freeze's spot. But they return Grayson McCall. Sorry, Carson McCall's my neighbor. Grayson McCall was going to transfer out, and then he decided to stay. He's got a trio of good running backs there. They're really good offensively. They're solid. They got a new offensive scheme, but from everything I'm reading, they've adapted to it really well. UCLA's ushering in. They got a new quarterback coming in there. Also, really, really highly touted freshman. So he's going to split time there with a couple of other guys. They got a transfer from Kent State also, who looks really good. But I think that that Coastal can keep it within that 15 points. I really do. This is a team that's won 33 games the past 3 years. 31 games the past 3 years. A lot of people don't know that. But,
yeah, Coastal's one of those teams that I don't know what they're going to have with this new guy. Obviously, it's an improvement being going to Conway over that shithole at NC State. So there's that. But
that's something we can agree on.
So I'm going to go with UCLA though, because I just think that I think they'll do better on the line of scrimmage. So give me UCLA minus 15. Boise State and Washington. Can the Smurfs go up and get the win up there at Washington, man? This is like the Smurfs Super Bowl, man, when they're playing Washington.
A lot's been made of Michael Penix Jr. and that receiver up there. Boise State, they are what they are. They're a top tier Mountain West team. I think they may match Washington blow for a while, but I look for Washington to probably pull away late in this game. So I'll take them to cover that.
I'll take Washington as well. Penix Jr. too much at quarterback. So give me Washington minus 16. UTSA at Houston, which by the way, last year it was Houston at UTSA, and I was looking through my forms. This was last year's Kale Hall shitter of the week.
What was it?
Yeah, it was. This last year, this was the first shitter of the season.
What was the first shitter of the season last year?
Houston at UTSA.
Really?
Yes, sir.
I don't know why I picked that for the shitter. I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking there. Neither one of those teams are really shitters, especially not UTSA.
I'm just telling you what you picked, sir. I'm
Okay.
just, I don't mean, according to the archive, that's what you picked. So
Anyway,
the Roadrunners, I think are pretty good. And to be honest, I think that I'm going to take the 2.5 with UTSA. I'll take the Roadrunners.
yeah, I'm going to take them as well. They returned almost all of a very explosive offense. Got a fifth-year quarterback. Jeff Traylor has done some really good things there. Has been a head coach down there about 4 years. Last year's thing, I think it went to double overtime, and they ended up dropping that game to Houston on the road. This time, it's at home. This will be Houston's first game as a Power 5 team, or I guess back as a power. They were a member of the Southwest Conference back in the day, but they're missing some starters on offense. They still got quarterback. No, he's not there anymore. Never mind. So yeah, that's one of the starters they lost. Yeah, I'm going to roll with UTSA as well. I think they beat Houston here.
All right, so the next game is and I did these in the order in which the games are played. So that's why we have South Carolina, North Carolina now. The Gamecocks are getting 1.5 in our contest. It's up to 2.5, I believe, in some lines, Jackpot. I think we're both on record saying we think that South Carolina is going to win. But, I don't think you've changed your tune on that, have you?
No. I just think South Carolina is just a more physical team. And here's my thing. I have never seen, a team to be an underdog, but so many people I've watched several different things. Josh Pate last night previewed this game, said, it's a 2.5 point spread for UNC, said his model has it all the way up to a 4.5 point spread for UNC. The dude trashed what his model said. He said he's rolling to South Carolina. A young man that's got a really successful YouTube channel, The Gridiron Expert, picked South Carolina. A couple of Vegas podcasters I listen to, they're picking South Carolina. So this really, really, really scares me. I can't tell you how much this scares me, but all I'm looking back at is I know what Spencer Rattler's capable of doing. I know what that offense can do. I'm a little scared about the running game, but if we can just get some semblance of one, we've got at least what we had last year. It can't get any worse. What we saw against Notre Dame, they put up a hell of a fight against a really good team. Now, both of them are missing some people. But what you saw play against Notre Dame last year was basically what they're going to have Saturday night, plus a few more additions. So I think South Carolina, I think we beat them. We're just more physical. I like to make a big deal talking about taffy defenses and taffy players. I think that North Carolina is just full of them. They had the lowest amount of sacks in the ACC last year. They only had like 16 sacks all season.
So I'm in the camp of the North Carolina defense is terrible, and I just think that they can't get to the quarterback. They don't really intercept the ball. Which is something that normally shoots South Carolina in the foot. They don't have I don't know what the term that I wanted. They don't have anybody nasty on defense is the best way of looking at it. But if South Carolina loses this game, which I don't think is going to happen, but it could throw that whole season into turmoil because lose that game, you're looking at a 1-2 start, and that's not good at all.
Up close and personal says Rattler going to get sacked 4 times Saturday night. Okay, well that will be 25% of what UNC sacked individuals all last season.
Yeah,
So
I don't see that.
Please tell me how they've upgraded there, and they may have. I mean, their defensive coordinator is a national championship coach. Let's not forget that he is.
I'm taking South Carolina and getting the 1.5. We'll see how that goes, but it's just like I can't think of any good reason to pick North Carolina. I don't give a shit how great Drake May is supposed to be. I'm not buying into that at all.
And I just think back. I look back at when you've got a lot of returning players on the squad. You can kind of look and see back what they did at the end of last year and glean a little something from it. And I just look at the way they played against Clemson. I mean, they were just really, really ineffective, and that defense was the shits.
Yeah,
against a passing guy. Clemson was they threw the ball around on them a pretty good bit.
Right.
Clemson didn't have a good game through the air last year.
Nope. So the next matchup is LSU and FSU. I think we're both on the same page with I know you don't like Florida State. I think Norvell's a clown. But I think LSU is going to I think they're going to roll big time over FSU and bring some of these FSU fans back to where they're supposed to be. I mean, they've NC State, several other programs have been better than they have in the past decade. They're not very good. And this whole thing of Florida State's back, yeah, that all comes to an end Sunday night. So I'm going to take LSU minus the 1.5.
Yeah, I was listening to the Cover 3 podcast today, and they were giving their playoff predictions. And Danny Cannell, with a straight face, said that he'd done another one for CBS. Actually, I guess for his job, but he had another one that he gave on the podcast, and his playoff teams, 2 of his playoff teams, no shit. I mean, it was Georgia and Ohio State, or Georgia and Michigan, can't remember which, and the other 2 were Clemson and Florida State. And I'm like, you have lost all. I mean, this guy has no credibility with me. That's just ridiculous. Florida State, just no. But I mean, I think they are a good team. Big Barney Ross is picking Sancho or picking FSU. I just don't see it. I mean, I trust the LSU defense more than I trust Florida State's defense. That's what it comes down to me. They have a good offense. I mean, I think Jordan Travis is a really good quarterback. They got a couple of wide receivers. They got some big wide receivers, got some big-bodied wide receivers. Let's not forget they got Jaheim Bell, the great Jaheim out there as well. But just I think defensively LSU is just a much better team than what they are, and I think they get the coaching advantage. I mean, I think that Mike Norvell, I think he's a good play caller. I mean, I think he might be a really good play caller. But I like Brian Kelly just a little bit more. And I think they get the win Sunday night. Really do.
Next matchup is Clemson at Duke. We've talked a little bit about this game. The line on this has moved up to Clemson minus 13.5. In our contest, it's 10.5. Up close and personal is drinking the KO Kool-Aid. He says Clemson is going to get their shit pushed in by Duke. Can't wait to see Rob melt down.
Okay, up close. Me and you've been arguing back and forth a little bit during the rest of this podcast, but I'm definitely on board with that one, my man. I like the cut of your jib.
Yeah, well, Jackpot's going to have to lose that $100, so I'm taking Clemson. I'll take them to cover. Jackpot, you're obviously taking Duke, right?
Yep, I'm taking Duke. Got 10 starters coming back. Really good quarterback and Riley Leonard. They're really well coached. They're good defensively. Clemson's going to have – if Clemson wins this game, they're going to have to earn it.
All right. The final game of the Pick'em Challenge this week. Northwestern at Rutgers. This is the Kale Hall shitter. Northwestern is getting 6.5 points against Tony Soprano's Rutgers team there. Both of them are shitters in my opinion, but I'm going to take Rutgers because they're at home. I don't know enough about Rutgers.
Rutgers not a shitter. Rutgers was 4-8 last year. They won one game in conference, was over Indiana. I actually went to a Rutgers game last year. They hung pretty tight with Nebraska, but they kind of lost it there at the end. They've got a running back coming back. Their quarterback, Gavin Wimsatt, 5 interceptions. No, it's 5 TDs, 7 interceptions last year. He kind of split some time with another kid up there. They have a really good defense. And that's the thing that, kept them in a lot of ball games last year. Northwestern's another one of those teams that's going to be, we're talking about wounded animal mode. Last year they were not very good at all. It's one thing to be 1-10, but let's not forget they opened up with the one win. They lost to, I think it was Southern Illinois. They lost to maybe Miami of Ohio, someone like that. Just some really embarrassing losses. But then in some of the Big Ten games, they actually were competitive with both Ohio State and Penn State. So Northwestern's a team. You never know what you're going to get. I do think they, you have some kind of major shakeup in the offseason like this. Sometimes you'll see the team, they're either going to fall apart or they're going to bond together. And I don't see how they could fall apart any more than what they were last year. You only won one game. So I think they're going to kind of come together. I think they'll play well. I think Rutgers wins this game, but I'm going to take Northwestern to cover it. I think that we could be looking at a field goal game. But just on the fact that when Rutgers wins, it's not by a lot. They're still offensively challenged, even though I look for them to be a little bit improved. So give me Northwestern to cover. Give me Rutgers to win, though.
All right, so there you go. There's our picks. If you want to get involved with the show, the number is right there. You can click on the link. It's in the chat. I'll post it again.
I think it's interesting to note too. A lot of people don't know a lot of stuff about Rutgers. They don't know a whole heck of a lot about teams like Penn State and just different teams. And I whenever I get out and am able to do some traveling, I kind of like to get out and just explore these places and kind of get with the culture a little bit. There's more to, and I'm getting on a soapbox here, and forgive me, if I sound a little long-winded, but there's more to life than just the SEC or college football life. There's a whole big old world out there, a whole big country, and it's all consumed by college football, and everybody's all got their own little niche, and it's all really cool. And I just like that stuff.
Going out and experiencing new things, right? What's wrong with that?
Exactly.
All right, so there's our picks. If you want to join the show, feel free. Everything's there set up for you. If you want to get involved with the program, you can click the link there. Jackpot will have we are not doing a show on Sunday. We're going to do a show Monday evening. Not like
do a show Monday evening, and I'm going to either be laughing at Rob or I'm going to be cursing a lot.
Yeah. Well, you want to do? What time do you want to do it Monday evening? You want to do it at 9:00? What time do you want to do it?
I'm thinking of, I don't know. 9:00 sounds good. I don't know that I'm going to live stream that football game.
No, we're not going to live stream the whole game, but we can do. I mean, we can go at kickoff if you want. Kickoff's at 8, right? You want to do that?
I don't know. I don't pay enough attention to Clemson, probably. Yeah.
All right. There you go. We'll just pay attention to the channel. We'll have it out there.
Don't forget, guys. Also, whoever's in the chat, I think it kicks off at 7:30, probably around 7:15ish on Saturday night. I'll have it up tomorrow. It'll be a live stream over here on the channel. We'll be live streaming the South Carolina versus North Carolina game on ABC. So be another good old reaction video. I don't know how many beers deep I will be in by that point in time. There's some good football on Saturday. I mean, it's not great football by any means, but we've got some good games coming on. I just want to kind of look at some of the ones Saturday, Rob, here real quick. Kind of look at this slate, and I can't really pull it up or anything on my end, but I do want to take a look at this, and we'll take a look at some of the games too that the next couple of days, and let's talk about those real quick because we've got some interesting stuff starting tomorrow. Of course, you got NC State going on the road to UConn. I'll just fire some of these off real quick and tell you what you think. NC State's at UConn. I think NC State's a 14-point favorite. That's been bet down a little bit. I think NC State may have a tough time. You know, UConn made a bowl last year. They got some momentum there with that program. Jim Mora has that thing headed in the right direction. What say you?
I think that UConn will cover. I don't buy into anything with NC State, so I think UConn will cover the 15. So give me that. I'll take UConn to cover, but NC State to win.
Okay, yeah, and then we got Florida's going on the road at Utah. Cameron Rising is probably not going to play for Utah. I think a lot of people are making a lot more of that than what it really is. Kyle Whittingham is a really, really good coach, and I know that Kyle Whittingham has known for months that Cam Rising probably is not going to be able to play in this game. I think that he's probably been smart enough to cultivate a backup quarterback. Of course, Kentucky, they're not smart enough to cultivate a backup quarterback in case they need one. They just have one there as a scapegoat that they can bitch and moan about losing a game to South Carolina with. But I think Utah is probably going to win this game. Graham Mertz is not a great quarterback. I don't know how effective he's going to be leading this Florida offense. They do run the ball pretty well, but I think Utah is probably going to be able to stop that running game. And I don't think that Graham Mertz is really going to be able to challenge the Utes on the outside. So,
yeah,
that's a home game. They've dropped, I think, maybe one game in that stadium. I think you're looking at like Clemson, Alabama type numbers at home for them. Clemson hadn't lost a home game until 31-30 happened last year. But prior to that, it was 2016. Alabama is another one that hasn't dropped a home game since like 2016. And Utah is right around there in that same neighborhood as well.
So I posted it on the page. It's been 32 years since Florida played a non-conference game on their regular season schedule outside the state of Florida. They schedule like a bunch of just terrible. But
well, hey, I mean they're stepping up. They're better than Kentucky as far as that goes.
Yeah. Well. Okay.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, they've got a home and home here. That they're better than Kentucky. Kentucky hasn't scheduled a non-conference Power 5 team other than Louisville since 2003. Indiana in 2003. They should play Indiana every year. And that should be like an every year rival for them, along with Louisville. I just think.
Why not?
I mean, they're not even. Indiana's not even really Power 5 level on most years anyway. I mean, at least you could say you're playing one, even though if you really aren't. So
remember with last year's team, Florida they went down to Florida. Nobody gave them a chance. Florida won that game and then went on to lose to Kentucky and Florida and not Kentucky and Vanderbilt.
no, they didn't lose to themselves. Yeah, they lost to Vandy. They lost to Kentucky. Almost lost to Mizzou. They lost to the Gamecocks. No, psych, they didn't. They had a bad season. Yeah, lost to Tennessee.
So I don't know what it's like. I do think that that Napier is kind of coaching for his job already. If he goes out and has like another 6-6 season, they may fire him. I think winning this game, he really, really needs that game. So it's one of the tough games to pick out. I'm glad it's not in the pick'em because I mean you could flow either way. If Rising's not playing, also playing up there, I mean I'd probably go with Utah to cover. I really would.
Okay. No, we got Nebraska at Minnesota. I don't really know what to make of that when Minnesota's missing.
Hold on. Is Scott Satterfield still the offensive coordinator for Nebraska?
Marcus.
Whatever the hell his name is.
Or as I know, as long as he didn't get arrested with Eric Gilbert. Yeah.
Well, give me whoever it is they're playing and they'll cover. He's terrible.
Our friends at Mizzou. Mizzou is in action tomorrow night at home, taking on the South Dakota Coyotes.
I didn't know. I honestly didn't know that South Dakota had like a football team, but
yeah, they got
games.
The states out there are the good teams. The North Dakota State and the South Dakota State is the Jackrabbits. They're really good. Of course, North Dakota State's the Bison, and they could probably beat some Power 5 teams. But the University of North Dakota and the University of South Dakota they're not real good.
I was reading something about Mizzou, and according to like 3 or 4 different things, they're projected to have like the second best defense in the East.
You look at who's number 1. I mean,
right?
Everybody's in a battle for second.
I'm just saying that I think that they'll have a good defense. I think their offense is going to be a floating turd. So I think they should. If I were Drinkowitz, I would line Luther Burden up at quarterback, and I would just run wildcat shit with him. Why not? He's the best athlete they've got on the entire
wildcat shit.
Yeah,
run
that. Yeah, I mean seriously, I don't buy any of the quarterbacks they got. Just put him out there, let him play quarterback. They'll probably win 6 games like that, 6 or 7 games that way anyway. That's what
you're probably right. They use him like Kentucky used Lynn Bowden Jr. a few years ago.
Yeah, just have the same mindset, ride your defense, and let him run out there and run the clock down. They may win 7 or 8 games like that. I mean, have basically 4 plays, make it good and stupid like that Tennessee offense, just stupid. You could be a moron and run it. That's what they need to do.
Yeah, I don't know about Drinkowitz. I think the guy looks like he just looks like someone who's really, really intelligent. But as far as just game day coaching, I really don't think he don't have it. I mean, they did beat us last year, so I mean, I can't say a lot.
He has never lost to South Carolina. He kicks that ass when he's at App State
He did at NC State as a offensive coordinator.
As a head coach, he's never lost to South Carolina. He sees South Carolina and says, bye week.
Fair enough.
Any other games you like, Jackpot?
Okay, let's see what else we got. That's about it for tomorrow's slate. Friday we got a few guys. Having Friday night games and college football games to me just doesn't seem natural. I don't like it. Friday night is high school night. I don't like Friday night games at all. Never have. But we got like none of these are any good. Miami, Ohio is at Miami, Florida. I mean, I don't know if these two have ever hooked it up before. You ever looked at the ESPN page too? In the middle there, it tells you the ticket prices, and it says tickets as low as. Have you seen that?
It's like
At the
$3,
Miami matchup, you can get tickets as low as $6.
Yeah.
But for the Central Michigan at Michigan State game, tickets are as low as $42. So apparently the Chippewas are a hot ticket up in East Lansing.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think Miami should win that game. But Miami, Florida, Louisville and Georgia Tech are playing. I think that's in the Mercedes-Benz Dome. What do you think there? That's Jeff Brom's debut.
Everybody's going to take and they're going to run with Louisville, and oh my God, Louisville this and that. I think it's going to. And final will be like 9-7. I don't know. I think, or it may go the other way. I don't think both teams are very good at all, but I'll take Georgia Tech.
You like Georgia Tech with the upset?
Yeah, why not? I don't like Louisville, so why not go with Georgia Tech? I love the people talking about Louisville's going to win 8 games. Okay.
At 11 p.m. tomorrow night, I'm gonna watch this. Or this is Friday night because I just want to see. Stanford is on the road at Hawaii. Looks like they're playing in that little middle school soccer stadium, the Ching Athletic Complex. I think Hawaii is like a 3-point favorite or a 3-point underdog to Stanford, who's got a new head coach. They've got like 3 starters returning on both sides of the ball. Hawaii might beat them.
That can't be. I'm looking to check the line, and you're probably right, but it's like,
it's
yeah,
3.5.
Yeah, it's 3.5. It started at 10. Now it's down to 3.5 after they went out there and they hung with Vanderbilt for a little bit there.
You think that's a little bit of an overreaction?
Maybe. Stanford could roll in there and just beat the holy piss out of them.
Well, they should. I mean, it's Stanford, for God's sake. On Saturday, Michigan in the big house, Jim Harbaugh's team. Is he suspended? Is he not suspended? What? Is he coaching this game? I think he is, right?
Yeah, I think he's coaching. I don't know.
Okay. They're taking on Mike Houston's team. He takes East Carolina up to the big house. Michigan's like a 36-point favorite at home. I think that may be too many points to lay with Michigan. East Carolina's not. I mean, they're clearly going to pound them, but 36 points is a lot. I don't know.
Yeah, that's not a game that I'll be watching. Let's add Rob has an SEC bias to the mix. What do you have for the program, sir?
How are y'all doing tonight, gentlemen?
Good.
Doing good. I hope you are.
Oh, yeah, always. I don't really understand all the projections. Just it seems like everybody's going to North Carolina. Their starting cornerback just went out, 3 weeks ago? I mean, who the hell are they going to trot out there to guard Trey Knox, Nick Harbor, and Juice Wells?
Well, I mean, are we 100% sure that Juice Wells is going to play?
That's what Beamer says.
But I mean, if
he's been adamant.
I would say that too. And then make North Carolina prepare for him. But if I could go out there and win the game without him and give him an extra couple of weeks, that's what I would do.
Well, who we got? We got Georgia week 3, right? I mean, he could take week 2 off. This is an important game. If he's halfway able to go, I think we got to get him out there. This is kind of a tone setter for me. They could take week 2 off for all I care. I'm pretty sure that's some shit house anyways. But I didn't hear y'all talk much about Clemson. I mean, Rob, you didn't really give much justification as to why
I'm just gonna be laughing. I've already explained that Clemson has the 2 deep on the Clemson defensive line are all going to be NFL players, and all of the offensive linemen for Duke look like extras.
Well, not Xavier Thomas.
Not Xavier Thomas, but I mean, we'll see. He's going to get drafted.
Well, did you see the splits?
Well,
Because like 96% of the public handle is on Duke money line.
No, well, that's 96% of the people that are going to be losing their shit because they're burning money. They really.
Well, no, that's 96% of the money, not the public bet. It was like 5% of the public bet and like 98%. It's probably updated by now, but it's something insane. I'd never seen it like that.
That can't be. Really?
Yeah, here, let me get the updated line right now.
I don't like the whole line of scrimmage thing. Clemson will win simply because of that. So
let me get it on money line. Yeah, I mean, I don't, and if I'm being honest, I don't understand what all the hype about is for Duke. But
no, this is the thing. There are a lot of
88% now. It's 4% of the bets, 88% of the handle for the money line.
Well, there's a good section of people that want to see Clemson lose, so they're gonna get hit in the pocketbook with their whole, I want to see Clemson lose so bad. This isn't. It's the first game of the season. If we're in the middle of the season, I could halfway entertain that Duke could be in it in the second quarter. But Clemson's going to dominate this game. It'll be over. We'll be doing our stream, and Jackpot will be pissed off and talking about Utz chips because he's not going to want to have to watch that game and then have to send Pigskin Pete his money. So,
okay, you've got a new offensive coordinator. This is your first game, and like I said, the first games you got to get adjusted. The first games, this is a team with 10 returning starters coming back at home that won 9 games last year. I don't get where you think that this is just going to be some walk in the damn park. I mean, you're not. You're not playing South Carolina State, for God's sake. I mean,
games are won on the line of scrimmage. The at home, my high school.
How do you know? Duke
my high school field has more room than Wallace Wade Stadium. So it's not really a home field advantage.
What high school did you go to?
I went to Lexington. The point is that they have more people walk by that stadium trying to go and over to Tent City to get tickets for the basketball game. Duke doesn't give a shit about football. They don't care. They'll get hammered in this one. They'll talk about, it's one week closer to Coach K-ville. Seriously, that's just
Coach
the way.
K isn't the fucking coach anymore. You goon.
Yeah, he is retired.
It doesn't matter. It's still Coach K-ville up there. You go say Coach K up there, they'll buy you a shot. You're a man of the people. You should know that.
Well, honestly, I think North Carolina. I think it'll be a close game. I mean, Drake May will keep him in it. He's a damn good quarterback, if we're just being honest. I think I kind of see it.
Yeah.
What was the over-under? Did y'all see the total on it?
64.
I think it goes over. I think it'll be like a 48-35 ball game, South Carolina. Maybe we get a special team.
Do you think Drake May is as good as Sam Howell?
Yeah. I think Sam Howell was a scrub. I think he was the most over. He's another freaking Mitchell Trubisky dude. I mean, Sam Howell, I never thought. I think Drake May's levels above Sam Howell. He's more athletic. He can make better throws. He didn't really have as much help as Sam Howell had either, if we're being honest. And
I just remember, when we lost to them 4 years ago when he was a true freshman in his first game.
Well, Jake Bentley broke his foot, to be fair.
That was deplorable. And they kept flashing over the stands because they was from near there. And they kept showing his mom like every 5 minutes. And I about got sick of it, even though, she was better looking than Will Muschamp. And they kept showing him standing on the sidelines, pissing the game away.
Yeah, they should have fired him right after that game. That was the moment where he lost, the whole fan base, I feel. Yeah,
it was. And to be fair with him, Will was he had some good wins at South Carolina. He had his moments, but they used to always say about him, and this is the thing with Drinkowitz too at Mizzou. He's won a few decent games, but he's another one that I think shit just doesn't click on Saturday, and that's what they used to say about Muschamp. There's just something that just goes wrong on Saturdays, and I just don't know what it is. But I mean, I liked old Coach Boom. I mean, I didn't want him to be a failure, but ultimately that's what he was, and it made me kind of lose my appetite for him. But I mean, he seemed to be respected by the players, and I mean, I liked him until he started fucking losing to Virginia in bowl games and
I just don't think
double-digit leads and losing to North Carolina.
Yeah. I don't think he made the best staffing decisions either. I mean, anybody who can trot out fucking Kurt Roper as your offensive coordinator for more than 1 year don't deserve to be a head coach.
I want to bring up Brock Lee's comment. If Drake May was so good, why did he lose to Georgia Tech? That is a very good point, sir. Maybe you should ask yourself, how did Duke lose to Georgia Tech before you run your mouth about, oh, man, this Duke team's coming back. They won 9 games. They lost to Georgia Tech.
Maybe, just maybe Georgia Tech is better than what we think they are. How about that?
I mean,
okay.
Didn't North Carolina catch them after the coaching change?
Maybe it's what Georgia Tech did. It's not what North Carolina and Duke didn't do.
Just maybe Muschamp was just misunderstood at South Carolina.
I mean, they almost beat your Tigers a couple years ago too, and that was with Jeff Collins.
What was that, 2 years ago? That is true.
Could you imagine if y'all had lost to Jeff Collins?
That was at home too, right?
Yeah, they would have lost the fan base. They would have lost the fan base for sure.
Well, I think Clark Lee's got to move in the right direction. It just sucks to see them lose their fucking quarterback, right as he's starting to take strides.
Mm-hmm.
But
bless hearts.
Well, Rob, who do you think outside of Clemson is a contender in the ACC? Because all I see are a bunch of fucking frauds.
They're all shits. They're all
frauds.
I
just see a bunch of frauds.
It's like there's nothing there that makes you look. And I mean, I like Wake Forest better than half these so-called contenders all over the place. They've got the best coach in Clawson. So there.
I thought, weren't you just talking about how you hate Dave Clawson last year?
No. I don't. It's not that I hate Dave. It's not Dave Clawson. I don't like the NC State head coach. He's a fucker. I've always liked Dave Clawson. If South Carolina fans were smart, they would have been trying to get Dave Clawson to come to South Carolina. But they were like, most South Carolina fans are.
I think we did okay. I mean, I don't know.
I'll take Clawson over Beamer all day today and twice.
I don't see Clawson beating Tennessee, Clemson. What's Clawson's record against Clemson again? Oh, remind me. Like what, 0-15?
Yeah. I'll take Dave Clawson.
Beamer's 500.
Yeah, I like what we got in Beamer. I think he's the real deal, if I'm being quite honest. And I think college is, he's actually surprisingly older than you think he is. Isn't he like in his 40s?
He's like almost the same age as me. Like, I think he's like 46. I'm 48.
You look at him and he's like, you think he's like in his 30s. I'm pretty sure Garrett Riley's only like, 30 years old?
He's 33, 32, 33.
It's like Steven Garcia's age. Imagine him going out there I'll tell you, they just hire him younger and younger now.
Well, he's probably a GA when he was 22. So he's probably been in it about 10 years. So, I mean, if he's smart and he's listened to whoever, he's worked with him. I mean, he's got the brother rub too, so that's helped him out some.
Get that last name. Well, Kale. I've asked Rob about his contender. Who do you think's a sleeper in the SEC? I don't want to hear Georgia, and I don't want to hear fucking LSU.
How is Georgia a sleeper?
No, I'm saying I don't want to. I'm saying pick a team outside of them to win the SEC.
He did. He picked Tennessee to win the East.
Oh God.
A sleeper to win the conference.
Mm-hmm.
You should ride your Tennessee picks. Get the fuck
smart
out.
Man. I was hoping you'd say that.
Can we go now?
I mean, what else are you going to pick?
Turn to shit.
All right. Y'all take care.
Thanks,
Holy
sir.
shit. Holy shit, jackpot. All right. Well, the games are posted. Make sure that you pick Jackpots. I got nothing for you.
Let's look at a couple more of these Saturday games that we didn't have on the Pick'em slate. I wanted to look over. Arkansas State's at Oklahoma. Got Butch Jones there, traveling out to Norman. He's coaching for his job this year. And the people talk about Butch Jones is like the only coach that hasn't been successful at Arkansas State. Most everybody gets promoted out of Arkansas State to a better job, like Gus Malzahn did, Preacher Freeze did, but Butch Jones is stepping on it there. Utah State's at Iowa. Iowa's got the Coach Friends, his son is the OC, and he's getting like a, what is it? Like he gets a raise every time they score 20 points or some shit. You heard that?
I heard about that, yeah.
Then his contract. At noon, we got Kentucky taking on Ball State.
God damn it. Let's bring in Baylor Man.
For $45.
Baylor Man, what's going
Baylor
on?
Man.
What's going on, fellas?
Right,
please save the show. We've turned it to shit this evening. Go ahead. What do you have for the program?
Well, I was just wondering. Where'd he go? There he is. First off, I was wondering, Jackpot, if if Duke ends up winning the game on Monday, have you figured out what you're going to do with that $100?
Hold on. I have to ask you something here. Is that the Baylor mascot that's your profile picture there?
Yes, it is. That's Bruiser.
That thing looks like it would hang out of the back of a white van offering kids McDonald's hand puppets. That is a creepy ass mascot, sir. Y'all would be better off going to the middle of the damn campus and getting the actual bear. Like, you got to start the bears in the middle of the campus. I'd much rather deal with the bear than creepy ass mascots.
We got bear clubs now.
Holy shit. Yeah, creepy ass thing that thing is. I'm sorry.
You all right, man?
It's true. It looks like it looks like he would try to hand out little McDonald's hand puppets from the back of a white van.
Well, if that's the case, you might as well be wearing a Tennessee jersey.
We'd be walking around saying, I know Coach Bryles. No, let's see here. Brock says it takes one to know one, Rob. What about your mascot? Sir, the Clemson mascot does not look like that. The Clemson mascot looks like a crackhead. Let's just make sure that we can make sure we're on the same page here. He just wants his next hit and he's going to go away. This guy right here wants to play with your 3-year-old. That's how that thing looks. Terrible. Get a better mascot, Baylor Man. Y'all have one. You have the actual fucking bears in the middle of campus.
Yeah, there's we actually got brand new ones. They're cubs too. I mean, they're little bitty things.
Yeah. So there you go. Anyway, go ahead and
what is his name again? Bruiser.
Yep.
Bruiser.
Yeah, the bruises are on his knees.
His name should be Dale or Terrence.
You got carpet burns.
Yeah, carpet burns. Brock says it's a game of inches, kids. Baylor shit. Anyway, Todd says that Bruiser looks evil. No, he doesn't. He looks like he's a. I told you, man. Yeah, anyway, all right. Well, now that we've made fun of your mascot, what do you have for the program?
Well, I was curious what if Duke ends up beating Clemson, what Jackpot's going to do with that $100.
Well, he's probably going to send the money to Baylor to get him another mascot.
Yeah, I'll probably do. To be honest with you, I'll probably use that a couple of times the next week to put gas in my potato chip truck.
Yeah.
Fill the potato chip truck. That's what he's.
What I do, it'll hold 20 gallons. So, I after there's a convenience store chain around here that I service a lot of stores for, and if you buy 2 20-ounce drinks, you get 15 cents off a gallon of gas. I try to do that about 3 times in between gas fill ups, and I'll have like 45 cents built up so I can get my gas for like $2.50 a gallon, and I roll that way. I don't know if it really ends up making the gas any cheaper after I buy all the drinks, but I like to think it does.
Papa B says 4 $20 scratchers and a pack of Marlboro Reds. No, sir. Jackpot's off the Reds.
Yeah, I used to buy Marlboro Lights back in the day, but that's been a long time.
I would think that you would be a Camel Don filter smoker because you're not fuck a damn filter. You don't need that shit.
No, I wasn't that.
But you were smoking Newports.
No, Marlboro Lights. I said I didn't some damn Newports.
Yeah, you were smoking Newports.
My name's not LaQuisha.
It could be. All right, Baylor
I'm
man.
just kidding.
You got anything else, buddy?
So I'm wondering how you'll hold up if Duke ends up beating Clemson.
I mean, I'll show up regardless.
Yep.
So
yeah, and y'all.
Yeah, I think it's just that it's been so long since they played because they don't play each other very often.
No,
They may now since the divisions have been done away with the ACC. They just haven't played each other very often. And notably, yes, Duke was the shits the last time that they actually played Clemson. But Duke's been Clemson's kind of been up near the top, but they've been kind of treading water. Not really improving, not really getting a whole lot worse, not really improving. And Duke's just been on that steady climb up the mountain. And now they're ready to do battle.
Yeah. Now,
so the last time that Duke played Clemson was in 2018. Clemson won that game. What was the score in that game? Hold on, let's see here. Yeah, Clemson won 35-6. So that was the last matchup 5 years ago.
I think Duke actually covered in that game, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't remember, but
I feel like they did too. Also, on my FanDuel roster right now, I've got Spencer Rattler starting as quarterback. You think that's a smart move if I want to cash?
Win.
Against North Carolina?
Yeah.
I mean, I could think of better players not bashing Spencer Rattler, but I think that there are other quarterbacks you could get that are playing far less opponents that may go out there and throw for more yardage for you. I'm not pissing on Spencer Rattler. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I know. So
like
I
would go like, who's Caleb Williams playing this week? I'd get him.
He might be off.
But here's the thing about those FanDuel rosters. You have to be within a certain number. Like you're given like $60,000 salary, and certain players are worth a specific amount of money per se.
Oh yeah, I get it. Well, I don't know. I mean, look, there's probably. I mean, you could spend more money in different spots with than quarterback, in my opinion. But
yeah.
All right, Baylor man. Well, you got anything else, buddy?
Well, wish everybody's team the best of luck, unless you're Texas State, in which, of course, I hope you lose. But yeah, outside of that, best of luck to everybody's team. Second Bears.
All right, man.
Fuck a Bobcat.
All right, Jackpot. Good show, man. We'll be back at it Monday evening.
And by that time, somebody will be 1-0 and somebody will be 0-1.
See you guys later on.